Alright, this is a test video. Mic check. 1, 2. Say something, okay?
Hey.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I know who I am.
Welcome. You are listening to
Rainbow Table Talk.
All right. Here we go.
What's up, y'all? I am Duchess.
Kalila J.
And this is the first episode of the Rainbow Table Talk.
Yes. Welcome, viewers. Rainbow Table Talk. We got some good conversations. So, as you all will know, and we're going to have some great content to provide you. This is a platform, a community for the LGBTQ plus community where we're going to talk about spirituality, sexuality, just all of our own experiences to help you along your journey. So we look forward to many more opportunities like this. So,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You alright?
How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm up here in North Carolina
Yes,
for our first
yes.
episode.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
COVID tried to put a damper on things, and
Yeah.
we're getting it together. So I am excited to share our journey with you guys, and feel free to subscribe. Email us at rainbowtabletalk20@gmail.com.
Like the video.
Like
Share
the
it.
video, share the video. We plan on coming to you guys every first and third Thursday at 7 p.m. I don't know what standard time you're on, but we're on Eastern Standard Time.
Put the kids to bed and they get kind of
Get comfortable, get your little glass. You know what I'm talking about? Get your little glass, just hang out, chill with us, and just enjoy and spend time as we share our journey, and hopefully get to experience and enjoy your journey with us.
Yeah. So let's jump into it because I know you're ready, right?
No.
So what do we got on the menu? What do we got on the menu today? Producer?
Producer, what we got?
Yeah, y'all want to see the producer?
You know what I'm saying? We got behind screen stuff. You know what I'm
Producer, what
talking
we got on the menu for today?
Alright, so today we're talking about our coming out stories.
about? Ooh, coming out. I got 2 of them.
You got two? Okay,
I got two.
Like
I got
one and a
2 of
half.
them.
One and a half.
Yeah,
So coming out story. So as you guys know, the process of being queer, LGBTQ, however you want to frame it.
I like to call us the alphabet people.
I know.
We add a new letter every other week.
Yeah, we're gonna have a video about that,
About the
right?
alphabet.
Especially about that. But I'll shorten it up. I like queer a little bit. It's just
You like
quick,
queer,
right?
that's you.
So with the queer community, a part of the, I guess like the first process or the ongoing process is about coming out, right? So like, how do you, come to know yourself as a part of, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, whatever that is for you? How do you come to the knowing of that? And then not only the knowing of that for yourself, but then how do you immerse like your family,
be comfortable enough
friends, and
to come out to those
religion
people.
and
Yeah.
church and all these different aspects?
And
How do you bridge it?
the rough thing about it is, unless you decide to like just go on Facebook and be like, look, y'all, I like girls, then you kind of end up having to come out over and over and over again. It's like, I can come out on my straight folks don't have to come out.
No.
It's just assumed
Yeah.
you're straight.
They
So
easy.
it's like you get to work and somebody's like, oh, you got a husband? You married? I have a partner.
Right.
I have a partner, and so it's this whole thing where you have to continually come out. My straight friends, when they introduce me, they're like, "This is my lesbian friend Monique," and I'll be like, "Yo,
Full on title, like it's a work title. My lesbian friend Monique. Oh, really? Like it?
like I'm diverse. I got gay friends, y'all."
Yeah.
So, just the come out story it's our thing. So a little bit of background on us. We both attended a Christian school growing up, and knew that we were LGBT. This is my cousin, by the way.
You don't see the resemblance?
You see
Damn.
it? Right. So we went to a Christian school and basically had to keep ourselves in hiding the entire time we were there, for fear of getting expelled. Like, how many times did we get called in the office?
Girl, I'm just mad that I'm just happy that I made it.
Yeah.
I got the high school diploma
Yeah.
downstairs. I was about this deep, not
Listen.
getting out.
Because you really can't come home and be like, we got expelled because we was writing girls love letters.
Yeah, we can't do that. So let's actually start from there. So let's, you got stages of life. Let's kind of start from like, childhood and then let's branch out to the space of like when we came out. So I'll kick it off like as far as with childhood. So pretty much always knew that I was gay, you know, even from just kind of the nursery. You know, I just knew. I was looking at babies in the, you know, the other cribs. I was like, call me. You know, call me when you get out, when you and your mom make sure you get all your shots.
But I like the teachers.
Ooh.
I was
a teacher.
I like the older women.
You like
talking
older
about,
women.
I like the older ones.
Nah, see, I was like in younger babies. I was like in, you know, the younger babies, right?
Where your mama at?
Where your mama at? So for me, it started out, you know, I'm being facetious here, but, you know, starting out from a young age, I knew something in me was a little bit, you know, different. I just kind of knew that I, you know, liked girls. Anytime it was time to play mama and daddy, guess who was the daddy? Who was the daddy?
Who's daddy?
I wanted to be the daddy. I wanted to be the daddy all the time. So it was something going on there. So, but you know what? We all know that when you're a child, you're taught boys don't touch boys, girls don't touch girls. So it's just kind of, I just like was always like, I like this girl, but had this thing where I knew that I couldn't like express that, right? So, like, in your childhood, did you know something?
I knew I didn't want to wear dresses.
I think
that
so.
was the first thing. Like, fought adamantly against that. But just knowing that, I think I'm more assimilated to, I'm just a tomboy. And it was like at around, I want to say maybe around 5 or 6, I was like, I like her, like being in her presence. But at that age, you don't really know what it is. And as I started getting into like my like 9 and 10, I used to go to New York to hang out with my older cousin, and I always wanted to hang around her friends. So it would be like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be like, I'm going upstairs to go hang out with your friend. And I didn't realize till I got older, like, you had a crush. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, she's beautiful, I want to be that kind of beautiful. It was like, she's pretty and I want to see her every day. Like, it was that kind of thing. But growing up in a Christian home, Christian environment, and also our families are Panamanian. And so in that culture, it is extremely taboo, not only being Hispanic, but also being Black. It's extremely taboo for you to have those feelings, because it's very prevalent to be like, oh, you see that batty boy them, and you don't we don't talk to them, and we don't do this and we don't do that, and you see already and I remember we had a friend, and he was extra effeminate as a child, and it was just like something not right with him, and just growing up in that where you see everybody else is kind of like you know when a stud walk by and your mama be like, look, you see that she thinks she a boy, and you just kind of be like, oh, well, I'm not supposed to be that, I can't be that. So it's like, well, when you saw the girl walk by, you were like, man, I like her shirt, I like her outfit, I want to do that, and then to have your teachers be in life be like, that's not right, something's wrong with that, it makes you be like, oh, well, I can't share that with them. So.
And just a fun fact, as you guys know, as Monique mentioned, that our parents are from Panama. And just most recently, over the past couple of years, that they've actually, before it used to be illegal. So it was illegal to have same-sex relationships or even public displays of affection in a same-sex relationship. So I think definitely have made progress where that's not, you don't go to jail for that, but that's just kind of give you an insight as to, we may have freedom in that space here in the States, but there are countries that this is illegal. You can't have that. So, and also the conditioning that our parents face in
their childhood, they're growing up, and kind of like just further enforcing it onto us. So then that's where we have like our childhood, and I think the shifting point as to when I started to know is when I like teenagers, and that's when we started to have more of a stronger bond. Do you remember how we had that conversation? I don't even remember how we had that conversation. Like, was it kind of like, I think I was like, hey, I think I like girls. Like, it's kind of that knowing, like you recognize family when you see family. Like if you see somebody down the street and you be like, that might be my blood. But so it was kind of like, are you? And then when we kind of reached, it was like, oh, so it was like, I have a safe space.
So give me the inside tea of it, okay? So how this happened, like where we got to the aha moment. Play basketball. This doesn't mean everybody play basketball.
Just because you play ball don't mean you gay.
Don't mean that.
You might be, but
you might 99.9% of the time you might be, but we're not just gonna stereotype you like that. But was playing on the basketball team, and then it was just this one particular girl on our team that she was just out and open. And we was
and open.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was like, damn. So it was something was inside of us, like, yo, like something is going on. And then,
definitely,
you know, we came to each other and was like, hey, you know, such and such looks real good, real cute, real cute. And it's like, you like her too? You think she's cute? And this affection just kind of just saying, commenting on how this person
I feel like
looked.
every gay girl on our basketball team was like that year was like,
yeah.
They gay, I'm gay too.
Yeah. And then it became like was a couple of us was like, you know, just started to say, oh man, I'm feeling something inside. So I think we started to kind of, in this sense,
bond together.
Build our own inner circle and our own tribe. So I think that was just us kind of building that family. Like, hey, what I'm feeling, Mo, are you feeling the same? Or other people on our team, we were feeling the same. So we were able to kind of like come on one page.
Yeah.
But I think was the hardest part with that was that, you know, like we were in a Christian environment, coming to God and to Jesus and all of this stuff, and then, you know, I'm supposed to, this is a sin. Yeah. This is not who I'm supposed to, you know, it's not supposed to be. It's not right. And I think that's where that's where we started to kind of get a little more of the challenges.
And especially when you're in a space where you love God, like we love God. We love that aspect of our spirituality. So in the coming out of it, it's well, the question for me always was, do I make myself happy or do I make God happy? Yeah. And it wasn't until recently, I think, in my, like, when I first hit 30, where I was just like, God wants me to be happy in who he has made me to be, who I am. And so when I learned to disconnect from the thoughts process of his people, because a lot of times his, you know, like I say, his people was the same people who were like, put him on the cross. So I always have to disconnect from their mindset and just be like, I am happy and secure and whole in who I am and who I am in him. Yeah. So
no, I love the way that you said that.
You know, it's on my it's gonna be on the tape. So you just rewind it back. Don't steal it. Just put my name underneath. Like, I will. We will give credit to that. Credit things. No, but yeah, and that was the hardest part, because I could just remember, like, we'll have chapel, and then we'll do this thing that we started to have, you know, affections for girls and have our girlfriends and whatever in school, and felt so much guilt. She had girlfriends.
Look, this is before my BC day. This is BC days, okay?
We didn't grow up now. Talking about
if you like this channel, you might hear about this.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You might continue. Subscribe. Stay with us. You hear more of that story. But we used to have like chapel, and then next thing you know, we'll be like, man, we ain't gonna be gay no more. We ain't gonna be gay no more. Or
I'm talking about at the altar.
Yeah.
Every chapel.
That's
like, I'm rededicating my life every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, going and just kind of feeling this immense guilt and shame, and just, you know what it is when they say, all right, now if you backslide or you fell away from Jesus or whatever, come on up to the altar. You know what I'm talking about. Like, to kind of feel that flush through your body, and just to kind of every Wednesday to get up to the altar and say, you know what, God, I'm not gonna be gay. Yeah. And I'm gonna serve you, God. This is what I'm gonna do. And then, you know, guess what? 2-3 days later,
I'm back on the phone singing SWV week to these girls, like,
and you're breaking up. You're breaking up with your little girlfriend, like, look, baby, I can't do
this.
We saved. We can't be gay no more. Yeah. And breaking up, and then you get back together. Then breaking up, and then you get back together. And I think the most challenging point for me thinking about that time is when I can remember I had my girlfriend, and, you know, we were caking on the phone. That's what we call it, you know, talking. You hang up. No, you hang up. Right? We caking on the phone, and I guess her mom picked up. Ooh. Mama picks up, and, you know, here's the conversation, and says that she records it, and then she takes it to the principal, right? And then next thing you know, they bring my best friend in. My best friend saying, not me. I am not the one. Y'all got the wrong victim. Yeah. So it's just like, hey, this is KJ. Bring KJ into the office. So when they brought me into the office, he says, look, the girl's mom saying that you guys were kissing in the bathroom, do all these different things, and this is not allowed. So if this is who you are, and this is what you're gonna do, we can't have you here. Yeah. And I had to, at that moment, I had to deny myself and say, I'm not gay. I don't know what you're talking about. Act like it never happened. And it crushed me because I just felt like at that moment, I couldn't be myself. Like everybody in school know, and I just had to now become an imposter. Like,
oh yeah.
And then
you got to fake. Yeah. Fake dating and fake liking boys. And it's like, I should be worried about getting good grades, and I should be worried. I got a basketball tournament next week. I should be worried about these things, but in the back of your mind, you're always like, I might get expelled for being who I am. Yeah. And
I think our only goal was, and especially with our parents, how, with anything, you don't want to disappoint your parents. I got to graduate. I got to get out of here. I don't want to disappoint my parents. So to have, people know who you are, and then always being like, you can't be this way, you can't do this, and make you feel guilty and shame about your feelings. That was awful. That was awful from a going to school standpoint. But even I want to get into a little bit, hopefully we don't get too emotional about this, but even our parents, parents, they're things are different, a little different now, but just kind of rewinding back to that
it time. Was rough.
So how was it like when you were dealing at that teenage year and coming out?
So for me, one, I think my parents always knew, but there is a certain level of denial that you have. And I was just sharing with you, I had a girlfriend, and at that time, as a gay girl in a in a conforming home, that's just your best friend. And so it's just like, I'm going over to my best friend's house this weekend. My best friend's spending the night at our house this weekend. And I remember we went out, we went to, what was it? It was Shades. It was a teen club. And we went to the teen club, and we came home, and I got in the shower, and we weren't doing anything. She just was sitting on the toilet in the bathroom while we were just sitting there, just talking. And my mom decided to come in the bathroom. Why the hell she woke up in the middle of the night?
It's like 1
o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. I'm taking a shower. She's sitting there, literally doing nothing. Had a blanket on and was sitting on the toilet, just talking to me. And my mom came in, and I heard the door open, and my mom goes, "What are you doing in here?" And she goes, "Nothing, just talking." And my mom came and opened up the shower curtain while I was in there. And I started faking like I was asleep in the bed. So the water is hitting me.
Just getting
and I hit one. And my mom was like, "Monique," and I was like,
"Oh, time goes to?"
Yeah. And I said, she was like, "Why was she in here?" And I said, "Because I was so tired and I didn't want to fall asleep in the shower, and so she was just in here talking to me."
That's a good excuse.
Man, that lie on the fly. That man, I was like, "Is she believe that?" Okay, but she didn't say anything about it, but then she came to me and was like, "She can't sleep in your room anymore. She can sleep in the guest room." And I was like, "Okay, that's no problem. That's no problem." So now all that meant was I would go sleep in the guest room till about 6 o'clock in the morning. And then before they woke up, I would tiptoe back to my room. So I think she knew then. And so her denial became my denial. I'm not going to come out because of that. And so for me, I didn't come out until, so after that relationship ended, I got into a serious relationship at 20. And I'm a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Don't hate. Don't do that.
We work together. We work together
very well together. But as a Sagittarius, we are impulsive creatures. And a lot of times my impulsions supersede my logic. And so I remember literally going to choir practice, and I got this girlfriend who I'm so in love with, and I'm planning on moving out of town to go be with. I'm tired of lying to say, oh, I'm going to this poetry show in Tallahassee, when really I'm just going to go hang out with her all night and chill and go to gay clubs in Tallahassee with her. And I ended up coming home, and I said, Mom, we need to talk. And she was like I felt in that moment she knew what we were about to talk about, because she was like, about what? And I said, it's about me. And she said, what about you? And I was like, and so me not wanting to actually say I'm gay, I was like, I think you know. And she was like, Monique, what? And I said, I think you know, Mom. And she was just like, if you don't tell me. And so I was like, I'm in love with a girl. And I think she called me a nasty bee. Like, you nasty. And I was like, and I was like, Mom, you already knew, and I'm tired of hiding it, and I just want to be who I am. And I might be the only gay person in the world who kicked myself out the house. I said, well, I see this ain't gonna work. Yeah. I'm just going to get my stuff, and I'm leaving. And I went and stayed at my friend's house.
With no job.
No, I had a job. I stayed.
Okay.
I stayed job. It was Red Lobster.
You were stable.
I was getting these tips.
Cheddar biscuits.
But that for me was my first coming out. And I ended up going through that relationship, and I was teaching the choir at my church, and once my parents found out, they started putting pressure kind of like on the pastor to be like, she shouldn't be in this leadership position. The pastor didn't care, and I remember he cared, but he was just like, let her stay in her role, because that may help her more than kicking her out of it would. And me and my dad ended up having a huge argument, and I didn't go to church for 6 weeks. And during that time with my ex, I was in the process of actually wanting to break up. But I found during that time that the most excited I was in talking to her was when I was talking to her about God. Yeah. So during that time, and then also missing out on not being at church anymore, I felt such a emptiness from feeling like my relationship with God had been stripped away because of my sexuality. Yeah. And so I ended up breaking up with her and going back to church and saying I wanted to be delivered from this. Yeah. And I went to counseling with the pastor, and I went to one session. He gave me a book on how pornography influences children. And
what?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Hey, for another day.
The thing was, he actually was in the session, and he was just like, "With the way these guys are out here, I could kind of see why you might want to be that." And I was like,
"That don't have any."
It didn't help. Like, so I was like, "I'm not going back to counseling." Yeah. But the safest thing for me to then say was that I've been delivered.
Yeah. And definitely would probably be that could be even a topic on its own, but. Just kind of going a little bit back. So I talked about just how coming out in the space or not coming out in school. My mom, where she found out, I had a relationship, a high school relationship going on, and that was my time when I was going off to college. And me and my ex-girlfriend at the time got into a little bit of an altercation where I couldn't, I was banned from the school, right? So they said, hey, you can't come on school grounds.
Dang, bro, you like a felon, right? Jeez. God dog.
I ain't got no record, just for the record, right? I ain't got no record.
How did school put a restraining order on you?
I know, right? They was like, you can't come back. So we had a little bit of an altercation. And I think, let me give you in context of what the altercation was. So, what we started to do was have this whole imposter thing, right? So I was like, okay, I don't want to get kicked out. You don't need to get kicked out. So I'm going to get me a boyfriend, and then you're going to get you a boyfriend. And that probably wasn't the best decision, because it started to kind of cause a little bit of jealousy. Yeah. Right? Started to cause some jealousy, started to cause some friction. And it was back and forth like, no, I'm not talking to a guy or anything like that. And for whatever reason, I had caught them talking, whatever the case may be. And we all been there in space before where you kind of caught somebody cheating. Yeah. Yeah. And you just get a little angry. Yeah. So that's what the whole context with the altercation is. So, they banned me from school. I couldn't come back. maybe a couple months later, my mom found out, I don't know how she got wind of it, but she found out that I was banned from the school, and she found out why. And she found out that the girl that I was in trouble with was my girlfriend. So she, at that point, knew I was gay. And she picked me up.
You got outed.
Yes, I got outed, right?
You got outed.
So she came and picked me up from school. I tell you what, that was man, look, if I could have jumped out that car and rolled back to home, on a trunk or something like that. But she just started to just rip me a new one and just kind of say, you're gay, you're a lesbian, you're dyke, all these different names, you're nasty bee, just all just kind of everything under the sun, and you lied to me, or I knew something was up. I should have never let you play basketball. I should never let you do this and stuff like that. It was just hard, and you can't stay up in the house like this. And then the whole car ride was playing gospel music. Every time she would try to come pick me up from school,
fall down.
I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this. She would just constantly play gospel music, try to force me, like, the only way you could come to church, you ain't coming to church dressed like that. You need to put on a dress. You're an embarrassment. So a lot of that shame and all of that shit started to really happen around that time. Like, you can't, I don't want you walking around and all this different stuff. And, I think there were some triggers for her, because I can remember one unique standpoint where she went back to Panama, and just so happened both of my cousins over there are gay, but one of my cousins, have HIV, right? She took it to a whole nother level where my cousin possibly contracted that for different reasons other than being part of being queer. Yeah. Just equated HIV to being gay, and just was like, you're going to get AIDS, you're going to get HIV, you can't do this, you're going to, all these different things. And it just put a strain on our relationship where I just did not want to even be home. Like, I didn't want to be home. Yeah. I'm a mama's girl. Our relationship was just pretty much torn. Like, she didn't even want to look at me or just touch me or just like, just would call me all type of names, and just felt like, started to institute in my head too that, my father, you can't tell your father would have a heart attack if you told him. So I just had no one at that point supported me, like my mom. So that it wasn't like a really coming out, like, hey, Mom, I'm out. I got outed, but I dealt with a lot of the backlash that came with that. So that went on for years on end. So like from 18 until like where I started to see a little bit of a shift from my mom around 28, 29. So I'll let you just kind of. So I'll talk about my second coming out, but if you want to.
So fast forward for me, being in different relationships with guys, and I ended up struggling with, okay, well, I like girls, but am I bi, or am I, what's this? And I ended up finding a guy that I actually had an amazing connection with, and we got married. And you suppress those feelings, thinking that, well, if I'm in love enough in this situation, that that will supersede a lot of my desires. And I mean, eventually we got pregnant, had 2 kids, and our relationship just wasn't working for us. And I can't say that it was because I was gay. We had multiple other issues that were going on, but I can't say, but I can say that it possibly, a piece of it fed into there, because when you are denying who you are, you can't love somebody within the full capacity of what you have in you to love. And so and who knows how that contributed to other things and other factors in our relationship. And I think that inevitably our position in each other's life was to be more of best friends. And so when it was time for us to be done, at that point in my life, I no longer even had sexual desires towards him. And for me, it was, well, I I really miss women. I really miss feeling like who I am and being this more dominant figure in my relationship. And I'm so tired of trying to dress a way to impress people at church and dress a way to feel like I'm making him feel like he's more of a man. And I'm not all the way stud, I'm not all the way femme, I'm more in between. And for me, it was like when I got out of that relationship, I was like, I'm done. Like I've done it. I've given y'all the wedding. I've given you the kids. I've done these things.
Everything for you.
I've done these things for you, and now I'm at a point in my life where if I want to show my children how to be happy, healthy, and whole in their life and in their relationships, then I have to be comfortable enough with myself to say this is who I am. So I remember it was like a two-parter with my mom. I called her and was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. I can't handle this. I can't take this. I'm done. I'm getting a divorce. And then, we had that conversation. And then a couple of weeks later, I was like, honestly, I never stopped being gay. Honestly, that's not a part of me that left. And I'm no longer in a place in my life where I want to continue to keep lying to myself or to anybody else.
Yeah. No, and that's I love how you said that. When you were in that situation, to really love yourself and have the capacity to love someone else. And it sounds like the change and shifting point is like, man, I got kids that I gotta, help them navigate and be authentic.
And you got to think about those things. Like for me, if my child ever came to me and was like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you. You're too young to date. Or
I
love you. How are we going to navigate this? How do you feel about this? How do you handle these things? And so I can't have that hatred in a part of myself and think that if this young person comes to me who I've been gifted with, that I'm going to treat them any different, because Lord knows I wouldn't. So in order for, not to say my kids would be that way, they have the option to choose whatever they want to choose. But above all else, I want them to live in their truth. So I can't tell them to live in their truth when I'm not living in mine.
Yeah, you have to be that level of integrity of walk the walk, right?
Yeah.
So and I think that's you just bring me back to just kind of that journey with the parents. And like I said, for over a course of 10 years, I was having that struggle with my mom. But where I have really, for me, the evolution was around 28. And it's especially something happens, especially around when you're 20. It's called your Saturn return. We won't get into that, but Google it, Saturn return. And what happens at Saturn return is that every 7 years you take on a new identity. So you're basically your soul comes in and kind of says, okay, this shit ain't working for us.
Uh-huh.
We need to evolve to the next space, right? So for me at that point, I was really like delving deep and saying, God, what is my calling? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? And what I got from that is that you need to coach people where you had where you've had healing at. So for me at that point, I had a physical transformation, and I wanted to help other people understand what their purpose is. I wanted to help other people understand, find and fulfill God's purpose for their life. Then that's when the ego, the barrier came from me, and it would say, you're gay. You can't. You can't. You can't. You're gay. You can't talk to people. You can't talk about God and being gay at the same time. Those two conversations doesn't work. So I had to come out to God. So I was like, God, I'm gay. I think you know that I'm gay. And this is who I am. And take it or leave it. Because at that point I was frustrated. I was mad at God. Like from what the God that I knew, I was pissed off. Like, this is who I am. You're giving me this calling. But I can't change my my affinity, how I feel, or anything like that. So I was like, you got to help me out here. And this is the power of God. In a small still voice, I heard, tell your dad. I said, what the hell? Tell your dad. So I called. I was like, tell my dad. I called my brother and I said, hey, I'm gonna tell Daddy that I'm gay. He said, why you want to do that? I said, something just in me. I just want to tell him. And I said, I cannot let my dad leave this earth not knowing who I am. I want to build a relationship with him. So my brother kind of prepped him, like, Kylie got something. They call me Kylie, but she got to tell you something. So then I talked to my dad and I said, yeah, Dad, you know, I don't like men. You know, I'm gay, you know, and he says, okay, baby. He says, have a peace of mind. Have a peace of heart. Have a peace of mind. Have a peace of heart. And my mother at the time, she just sent me a long text messages. God bless my mom. You know, I love her. But she just said, wish I didn't have you, or just why did you do this? And you're going to break his heart, and you're going to, all this just nasty tone. But I'm so grateful that at that point I had a solid relationship with God to understand that, you know what? She's scared. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And my dad, was telling me, it's okay. Be you. Have a peace of mind. So, like, I felt like a ton of bricks come off my chest. Yeah. And to be able to come out to my dad and just kind of, have his support. We didn't have like an ongoing conversation because he was a little bit old fashioned about it, but it felt so liberating to come out to him and tell him who I am. And because my dad my dad has recently passed in April, but when I look back on that, I'm so happy that he got to know me. Yeah. And, spend time with him, and I wasn't feeling that shame of being gay. And when he saw me, he said, this is my baby girl. Yeah. This is my baby. Yeah. He didn't look at me like, oh, nothing like that. So that was pretty much, another evolution of me coming out.
And then for me, after coming out for the second time, it was more of, I think they were just happy they had grandkids. that's it. They were like, oh, she done had our baby, so we good. So in that aspect, then they started being more, what can we say? Because at that point, I pay my own bills. I don't really ask y'all for nothing, so I'm going to live my own life. There's like this, it's interesting that you talked about that Saturn return at 28, because I stayed married until I was 30, but at 28 was when those feelings returned hard for me to where I couldn't fight them anymore. Yeah. And I still had 2 kids in that space right there, and was like, I can't do this anymore come 30. But the feelings definitely returned hard at 28. Yeah, and so just to be in this space now, my dad is completely different from your dad in that aspect of, my daddy was like, so who the boy? And people always want to know that. Dad, neither one of us, we're both the boy, but I'm saying who are and I'm like, Dad, come on. My dad is a clown. He's a whole clown. And so he was just like, so you be doing it, huh, daughter? You be and I'm like, Dad, come on, man. I don't want to talk to you about this. Yeah. And so now I'm in a space with my parents to where my mom is more just like, do you have to dress boyish? Can you got a nice shape? Because you just put on the tight jeans with the other day she gave me some leggings, skin tight leggings. Stop. And I was like, I'm going to wear these around the house when I clean. So you could wear them out? Yeah. Nah. So her thing is more of, I didn't give birth to a boy, but she doesn't understand feminine versus masculine energy. And in some way, shape, or form, I just have to be acceptive of where her mindset is at this time. And for, my dad, his thing is, I just want my daughter to find somebody who can bring as much to the table as she brings to the table. Because he's like, for daddy, it's always like, I want somebody to take care of my child, not my child taking care of somebody else. And so,
but the energy's
our energy is our energy is different. So for me, it's more like, I just want to be in a relationship where we both bring something to the table, more than just paper plates. And we can both grow and build together. Getting into a space where I'm learning my boundaries with my parents, the things that I will and won't change, and just being now just being more playful with, mama, I had to get in these girls, just being normalizing it and being like, this is not a big deal, because she'll be like, I know a couple of gay girls, and I'll be like, ooh, I'll be like, look at you. Yes, I was like, hey, Mom, I said, if you got any friends with fine daughters with good jobs, holla at your girl. And she was like, me and your dad was just talking about that. And I was like,
y'all talking about it. But that's progress,
But
right?
it's progress.
That's progress.
It's progress.
And I can see my mom definitely. She's come along. So like I said, it had the 28 space going on, and then like 29, I got into another relationship, and I still was kind of acting like I was 16. I was still kind of, and plus my partner, she wasn't out either. So it was kind of like this awkward thing. And I had a good friend tell me, it says, KJ, until you start acting normal, that's when she's gonna better accept it. Yeah. Right. So like, if you're gonna sit on the couch, y'all don't need to be sitting way out here. Sit on the couch and just kind of be you. And when I started to do that, I just noticed a quick shift where my mom started to understand that this is what it is, and this is what's going to stay. And she started to understand and really accept the other person into their life, into my life, and just kind of okay, this is what it's going to be. But it takes time because even still during that duration, what I still was going through was, okay, on an outward appearance, I was trying to normalize this relationship. Yeah. But then I was still having the internalized homophobia. So I won't get into it here because I feel like that's a standalone topic that we could talk about on its own. But I still was going through the religious suppression about it, and just thinking that, God, you don't support me, or God, you won't, bless me and stuff like that.
I remember specifically like being in a relationship and being around town. Like now you go out of town and it's like, what's up, girl? How you doing? But then when you're in town with where your parents are, I remember like being like, I've come out to my parents. They know I am gay, but I cannot be affectionate towards you because somebody who they know or somebody from church might see me and then go back to them and tell them, I seen Monique and she was. So I remember my ex, we were walking out of Target one day and she was like, I'm cold. And she did this thing where she like pulled up on me, like for me to put my arm around her.
Baby girl,
and I was
where your hoodie at?
And I backed up and was like, "You just want my sweater? What you want? What you want? like what you need?" And I
she about to steal for everything you got.
And we got in the car and she was like open and out and had always been. And she was like, "You're still ashamed of who you are." And it took a very long time for me to be comfortable enough to show public displays of affection towards her and to be like, we all right, we okay, I'm not or be in front of parents and be like, baby, you'll bring me something to drink, or baby, you need something, like to be able to have those pet names or show this is normal, like this is absolutely normal. And even for my kids, when crazy thing about like how little kids think, they don't care. So for my kids, it used to be like, oh, well, they just got two moms, and they didn't. And
I was debating because sometimes you get the little kid like, you a boy, or you a girl, and I'm like, you 10 years old, them.
My own daughter does that to me, and I can't stand it. But she's an a-hole, and she knows she does it, and she does it on purpose. So if she sees me with like if I put on some like makeup, then she's like, oh, mommy, you a girl. And I'm always a girl. Don't try to question it. And she'd be like, "You're not a girl." Like she
like a grown person. You want to fight or something.
Sometimes.
Okay.
All the time.
But we're gonna have to bring Zoe up.
Who? She can't come on the show.
We got to bring Zoe. We got to bring Zoe. No, but where were we? We were for a second. Producer, where were we?
We got anything else? What we doing?
Because you gotta keep us. When we started cracking up,
you guys are doing amazing. I think you can just hit the challenges and the hardest parts. So you guys are pretty much
we had done. All right.
Yes.
She basically told us to wrap it up.
Yeah,
we finna get that Grammy Award.
She told us to wrap it up. Okay, so we'll spare a couple minutes because we want to make sure we tie up in the loose ends. But so had the girlfriend situation. Mama started to come around. I think what kind of just really ignited me to this moment to be here and for us to be in this space and kind of have this conversation. I started to handle the religious oppression part, like that part coming out. So like, I guess in this is kind of like a second coming out for me was around, I had the internalized homophobia for maybe about a year and a half going on. And I was doing a lot of healing work around that. And I just had to come out to myself. Yeah. And even though like I am a masculine presenting woman, I started to deal with, questioning my own sexuality, like, am I bisexual? Am I want to be with men? What is that? And just kind of unraveling all these pieces. And I think I never verbally came out to my mom and said I'm gay, and I think that was important for me. Yeah. So it was close to a year ago. I just said, Mom, and I know you already know. You already know girlfriend and stuff like that. But I just need to verbally hear myself say that I'm gay and this is who I am, right? And then she's just like, well, you just need to do the surgery. I said, no, that's a different surgery. That's a different perspective. That's a different perspective. And there are individuals that
but
feel
that's not what you.
That's a different thing.
Not who you are.
So I was like, I said, I'm gay. I'm a woman. I enjoy being a cisgender woman, who I am, and I want to stay, I want to just be with other women, and that's who I love, and I want to embrace that. And she was like, okay. But it felt, in essence, it just felt more liberating because I needed to say, I just never verbally said it. She found out on me, but I never verbally said it. And I just more to kind of, what I learned in this past year is that coming out is just not a one-time event, right? It's an ongoing process. And we're in our early 30s, and there's some individuals that may be very well looking at this video, and you're in the space like, okay, shit, I'm in my, mid-30s, mid-40s, it is whenever your timing needs to be, and to allow that space. And I'm just grateful that we even though it wasn't an easy road with like going to a Christian school, and this is not to knock any Christianity or any religion, it was I think definitely a pathway to coming to know God and building that relationship. Yeah. But going through that through high school, and going through that with my mother, and going through relationships that my partners weren't out, really fueled me to connecting to who I am, who I want to be, coming out to myself and really owning it and saying, this is who I am. I'm a gay woman, a gay Black woman at that. That's here on earth. And I believe that I chose this life as to do this, for us to do this, to be an inspiration to other people. So that's my encouragement. Like, it's an ongoing process.
And just to tie my end up, just realizing that having that moment where I moved away from God because I was like, well, this is what I choose in my life, and so this means I can't have this close-knit relationship. And just backstory, I do a little bit of writing and music, and so like I've done like Christian hip hop and love it. I love to do it, and I'm not boasting. I'm owning my gift. I'm good at it, and so for me, it was like, well, you can't do that genre of music anymore. You can't do these things, or you can't share these things. But the thing is, I've met people who are gay who have shown me more, and I've experienced more in God than people who I've met that are cisgendered. And I've my homegirl, shout out to Love Reigns, who started this safe space called The Closet in Jacksonville, Florida. The first closet that she had, there was a trans woman, and she did gospel, and the spirit was so alive in that setting that it just made me be like, God, I'm with my people, and I'm praising you right now. And I feel so alive, and I feel so healthy, and I feel so healed right now. And so coming to this place in my life where I'm willing to own, I love God. I'm unashamed about my love for God. I want to share that with other people. No, I'm not perfect. I'm not without fault, but I can take his word and share his love with other people, because there are some people within our community and outside of our community who absolutely need his love. And I think above all else, whatever your beliefs are, whether you believe we are wrong or believe we are not, what you cannot deny is that God above all else has commanded us to love one another. And so if I share nothing else with you, love one another.
Yes. Preacher, Duchess. I tell you, no, you've said it. You said it all. So I just want to kind of close us up a little bit here, and just kind of to continue to echo the words. This is bringing back the why. Duchess and I were doing this, is
First and third Thursday at 7.
first and third Thursday.
All right.
And the intention is that you heard, I know you, thank you for sitting and watching, right? But you've heard 20 something years condensed into this particular time frame. So, thanks for just kind of staying with us on the roller coaster of what this looked like, and for us to kind of go even further in detail, we'd be creating like a damn docu maybe one day docu-series or something like that. But thank you for staying with us, because it's to share. And I think what we're so proud about is that we never thought this would be possible.
Yeah.
We never thought that we would have peace.
Yeah.
We always was taught in the religious construct that we would always grapple with the sin, always struggle with our sexuality. We would never have peace. We would never rest. And we're here to tell you that's a lie. Yeah. That's not true. You can have peace. You can have love. You can accept who you are as a being that is queer. God loves you. God designed you to be queer. And I think the most unique and special part about a queer community is that we teach how to love in so many different manifestations, right? So in all hopes that you stay with us, like our channel, comment, send us questions, because we want to help.
Email us at rainbowtabletalk20@gmail.com. And we'd love to just talk with you and help you through your journey as we go through ours.
Awesome. And I know this is kind of maybe like a off the cliff. None of this was planned, but I would love for us to do something different. Pray as a closeout.
All right.
So
you got it?
Yeah. All right. You Thanksgiving prayer, quick prayer, what we gonna do? All right. So, God, we just come to you from all beliefs, faiths, walks, whatever that may look like for us. However we connect with you, God, we got to ask you to go within. And God, we thank you for creating this space for us, our own experiences, and to bringing us through our own experiences, and to be able to say we want to help our brothers and sisters, and to whom all, to come to know you, because that's the goal, to come to know you. And then when they come to know you, they come to know themselves, to help build a unity and a bridge with loving who they are, accepting, and God allowing themselves as you to be a vessel through them to carry out their purpose in life and to love. That's what we're called here to do, God. So we just thank you for giving Monique and I the strength and the courage to tell our story, in all hopes that it's going to inspire someone, and all hopes is going to give someone hope to be able to, whatever that is, coming out to themselves, coming out to their family, their workplace, but standing in their truth and standing in their love, and knowing that, God, you support them, you love and accept, and to help us build community, that we're here for each other. So, God, we just thank you.
Thank you.
And, for whoever was inspired and hope, that we just spread the love and we continue to build a community around Rainbow Table Talk as we continue to have a conversation. So, God, we just thank you. And so it is. Amen. Amen. All right. Peace out, people.
Peace out. Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe. All right. Peace out.
At the end of the day, I know who I am.
Welcome. You are listening to
Rainbow.